Welcome to Tom's Movie Cruise.
Highs and lows of Hollywood seas.
This week we are talking about
The lows of Hollywood seas.
the lows. That's true, we are talking about the lows. Movie gripes, stuff in films that we hate when it happens.
Just as like a warning, I've been told that lots of my gripes are not very rational.
I actually think that all of our gripes are very legit.
Okay.
And I think, listeners, you're going to agree with a good percentage of them. Let's say like 30%?
35.
35. You guys are
Let's
going
be
to
positive.
agree.
Right, you go first.
I put text in movies. I hate it every single time, especially at the end of a film when it's just pages and pages of dialogue.
We went to see The Big Short together, and she looked like she was having a good time throughout the movie. I was like, this is good. She's like, yeah, it's good, it's good. And at the end, they do that thing where it's sort of like, this is what happened in 5 years' time or whatever, or this never happened. Text on like a black screen, and I looked over her and she just looked so pissed off.
I mean, the thing is, I'm okay when it's like a couple lines because I understand that there are some things that it's very difficult to portray that in film, especially when it's something like this is actually what happened in real life, or this is what the people look like in real life. They did that in Legend with the Cray twins, and I'm kind of okay with that. I think The Big Short is a very good example of how not to do it. It was like 10 pages, and I was like, I do not want to come to a cinema to read. I've come here to watch films, and I just think it's super lazy. Like, if you don't know how to put it in the film, like, don't put it in the film. Texting film, I mean, that pisses you off. Come on.
I don't mind it. I think my main problem is it's overused. Like, it's such a cliche to end the film with like a black screen and like white text saying, "This never happened again." Yeah, I think it is lazy. I'd prefer a sort of original, interesting like end to a movie that isn't just like, "Let's wrap it up now, guys."
Do you want to go into one of yours?
Sure. I don't like Victorians.
Oh god.
Or medieval eras.
So what's the time period we're talking about here?
There's two. One of those Victorian time period. Actually, no, I guess I don't really like period dramas.
In general.
There are a few exceptions, but generally, yes.
I feel like I can think of examples of medieval stuff that you like.
Like what?
We're just talking about film, right? So not like TV. Or
also TV. And all media and games.
Do you like Game of Thrones?
Not really, no.
I
don't like the old-timey aspect of it.
But you like Game of Thrones?
I like some parts, but I don't super like it. My problem is that it's always so like pretentious, and it's just using it as an excuse to make things like, it's like very deep-seated, like hatred. Everyone's like, oh, I'm going to go up the hill on my horse and we must defeat them, and oh, my lady, my sword, and I'm just like, ugh.
I do kind of agree that I usually feel very polarized as soon as I know that that's the kind of film I'm watching. Have you ever seen this film called Kingdom of Heaven?
Yes.
That's a very good example of just, as soon as I started watching it, I was like, I'm not going to like this, mainly because it's a medieval period.
I don't know if I don't like the way that it's done on screen, or if I just generally don't like the culture at that time in history. Because if it's an accurate portrayal of what it actually was like in medieval era, it's always so stuck up, like no one's ever having fun, and I just don't believe that's true. Like,
I feel like, okay, no, I interrupted you to try and think of times where people are having fun.
The only times when they're having fun, it's like, oh, let's have some beer and some wenches. And it's just like everyone's so like two-dimensional, I think.
Yeah. Do you think The Hobbit? I know it's a fantasy film.
Yeah, I don't like the medieval aspects of The
Hobbit.
But
there's a lot of Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's like everyone's just they don't spend enough time like researching or giving depth to the characters a lot of the time, because they're just like tropes like, I'm the knight, or
but maybe that's just
I'm a poor woman who's a whore because I'm too poor to eat.
But I feel like you could say that about these movies. I feel like I can also say that about like films based in Greek or Roman mythology times. There's usually those tropes as well. It's like, I'm the poor slave woman who's also an oracle.
Yeah, and that pisses me off too. You know? I just like, as a general rule, if you couldn't put a gun in the film, I wouldn't want to watch it.
Oh my god. So you don't want to watch Minions?
No.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I hate kids in movies, generally speaking.
Wow.
There are exceptions when the kid is being used effectively and not just for emotional bait. Because a lot of the times nowadays, they just put in a cute kid who can't act for shit and just says like one line that's supposed to make me be like, oh, now I feel really sad and I don't want anything to happen to this kid and whoever's looking after this kid. Or just, it's usually bullshit. I'm thinking of this film Selfless I watched last year that none of you guys have watched. So I'm not even going to try. But like, it had Ryan Reynolds and I fucking hate that movie. And they put in this kid to try and like make, and like, oh, I don't remember the name of the characters, like, oh, Ryan Reynolds, like, save me, as though we're like now automatically supposed to give a shit about anyone in this film because there's a kid. I actually don't give a shit about the kid. Like, if the kid died, I think I'd actually be happier and I probably would have liked the film a bit more. But basically any genre, I generally just don't think kids should be allowed to act.
Room.
No, because Room seems to be the only example I keep thinking about in my head
The Fall.
where it's worked. Oh, fuck. But those are, like, great exceptions.
Yes,
Come
they're great
on.
exceptions. I hate it. Why are there so many films about single men coming into, like, acquiring a child and then it changing their life?
What films are you talking about?
Like, there's so many, like, films in which, like, there's this single guy who's doesn't have his life together and, you know, he drinks or he sleeps too much. And then suddenly there's like a chirpy little weird kid that comes into his life and he bonds with it.
Oh,
And
like,
then like his
that film with Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
yeah,
that
and
one.
so many other actors.
And Jersey Girl.
And they do it all the time. And the kids are always really shit, boring actors.
Yeah,
There's nothing special about them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, no.
Matt Damon without a Boston accent. I'm not going to say much for this one. It's kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah.
All his best films is... This is kind of... I think everyone should act in their original accent.
Wait. What about Talented Mr. Ripley?
The majority of his best films.
I didn't like The Martian, and it's probably because he didn't have a Boston accent.
Yeah.
What other Matt Damon films? Jason Bourne, like the Bourne franchise.
He doesn't really speak. He just goes around and kicks
Yeah,
people.
he just kills people. He doesn't talk. I'm going to need to go back and watch the old ones. Have you seen the new trailer?
Yes.
For Jason? They just called it Jason Bourne. It just feels fucking lazy.
Yeah, I know. It's like...
Just like
uh,
they run
Steve
out of
Jobs.
like...
Jason
Yes.
Bourne.
Same person. They've run out of like those words they add to the end. The Bourne...
Legacy.
The-
Ultimatum.
The Bourne
Trilogy.
regeneration. It's not that difficult. You can just... There's thousands of those words.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
you're just ending it there.
There's nothing more really to say.
Yeah. Is it just Matt Damon or is it like other Boston actors?
Just Matt Damon, I think.
Or
I really,
like Ben Affleck. You don't care,
I don't really care about Ben Affleck generally.
right?
I haven't seen many of his movies. I like it when actors get to use their own voice because I don't know.
Anakin.
Like
I hate that.
yeah, like Ewan McGregor is really a good example, and
James McAvoy.
James McAvoy. I don't know. I feel like as someone who's never done much acting, I can't really
Much. Any.
Actually, no, I was in my skilled plays. So.
Oh, that doesn't.
But as someone who hasn't, I don't really know how hard it is to keep up an accent. But
That's true.
presumably it's easier to act well if you don't have to think about putting on an accent.
Maybe it's kind of like when you go to a job interview, it's easier to put on these like fancy clothes and they make you more confident. They make you feel like I deserve to work. So maybe putting on an accent makes you feel like an actor. You're just like, yeah,
If you can do it right, if you can't, you're just like, oh shit, and feel really shit about yourself. So
Yeah, that's true. Okay,
let's move on.
Oh, Taking Forever to Die, which I think we both definitely agree on.
You know who did take too long to die?
Yoda.
Dobby.
Oh, yes, Dobby too.
Both tiny little shit gremlins that no one likes.
I think even the Gremlins in the Gremlin film took way too long. There's one film, Tomorrowland, another film that no one saw. Why do I keep watching shit movies that I know are shit? Like, I've read the reviews and they're like, they're shit.
Isn't
but I go,
Tomorrowland with Tom Cruise in it?
what film are you thinking of?
And that woman that you like, and they go back and they
No,
have to relive the day
that's
over and over.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrowland has Hugh Laurie, George Clooney, and some other shits that I don't remember. And there's just this girl that takes literally 20 minutes to die. And I'm literally get to a point where I'm like, she's not actually dying. Like, she could get up and walk because it's taken her that long. She always has like another last word to say. And it's just...
And I wonder...
it's the worst. And I kind of want to add to this, like, not only just taking forever to die, but then just when you do die, it's just so ridiculous. Like, Anakin's mom in Star Wars. I'm so happy I see you. Now I can die. And she dies in this, like, really comical way. She just flops over. I'm like, what?
That's really sad, though.
No.
I hate the fact that she dies.
She didn't need to die. Do you not
It's
think...
like Anakin didn't have enough angst in his life already.
He was away from his mum for 10 years and he never questioned, like, where is she? Your mum was a slave on Tatooine and not one point you thought, maybe I should just send her, like, a Christmas card. Just find out how she's doing.
Or, go and buy her.
Yeah, maybe I should... I'm a Jedi now. I've got all
I
this
have
Jedi
powers.
money.
Let's go
We can afford a clone army.
Yeah.
we can buy my mum out of slavery, can't we?
Nope.
Oh, fucking Qui-Gon Jinn. He's like, no, Anakin, we must leave your mother.
Leave her here. Let's
Leave
go.
But yeah, what's next?
All of mine are somewhat to do with accents or eras. I've put default dodgy English accents for new places / old places. So the theory is that you have a film where the main characters are usually American and the good guys are American, and they go to a new planet or somewhere in the past, and instead of giving them like accents that are realistic,
Yeah.
or original language with subtitles, which is always nice.
Yeah.
No, they just give them a fucking random English accent. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to portray that they're from a different culture. Let's make them English, because that's different, but they're still the same language, I guess.
To be devil's advocate, I feel like it is an easier way to just...
It's lazy.
No, because sometimes when you give people other accents, then you can, like Star Wars tried to do. It gets to a point where it's kind of racist.
Yes.
And no one claims that it's racist against English people.
Well, just keep them all American in that case.
No foreigners.
No, but like, why is it always like weird, stuck-up English accents?
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
And this, I noticed this, I've been playing Assassin's Creed Unity,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really fucking bothering me that he lives in France, and he's clearly lived in France since he was a kid, and he has a strong British accent. Everyone else is French. But then he just, like, occasionally drops in these French, like, he'll just be talking to someone and be like, oh, oui, oui, and merci, and then just start speaking in his very posh British accent. Really obvious exposition, which...
Like the start of movies when it's like, here's a newscast about exactly what's
Oh
been
my
happening.
God. One of the things I don't like about Tron...
Something you don't like about Tron?
There's a few things that I don't like about the original Tron and Tron Legacy. They both do the same thing. Tron does it, the original one does it worse. There's a point where they make it very obvious someone's evil. They're like, sir, have you finished stealing those things so we can sell them illegally?
Oh my God.
They actually say that. And then in the beginning of Tron Legacy, I understand they're trying to introduce us back into this world and we have no idea what's happened, like 20 years have passed. And so they use like televisions and news reports to just like express, Kevin Flynn has gone missing and stuff like that. And I'm not completely annoyed at those kind of expositions. I think I'm more annoyed when it's expositions like in the original Tron where you use dialogue to try and tell me like this is what a character is like,
Like basically all of the like...
do you know what's really annoying is loads of people keep saying that Game of Thrones did it really well, but I actually found it kind of annoying because it kind of in the beginning you have like, oh, there's brother Bran and sister Sansa and half brother Jon Snow. He's not my half brother.
They've come back from hunting with the animal of the Stark house. They found, all this lore we're going to tell you about.
What are the house words? Remember that, Bran. Winter is coming.
Winter is Say it 4 more times now.
4 more times.
Or
even though winter doesn't actually come until season 6.
That is the most annoying form. But then also, I think I've put this somewhere, voiceovers, right? I think this ties into it.
Yeah.
Like at the start of Pacific Rim, there's like 4 solid minutes of just him telling us what's happened, like as a voiceover.
That was cool though. No, because the visuals were really cool.
Yes, but
I no. Do you know what? I disagree with you. This I loved the beginning of Pacific Rim. Just watching it, and it's like It's basically a film on its own, cutting out all the bullshit, and he's just telling us. I agree. 4 minutes is kind of long. I don't know if it's actually 4 minutes or if you're exaggerating.
At least 3 minutes. It's just a heavy and then this came out of the deep.
Yeah.
But okay, I'll give that a pass because it's a good film. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. But it's like also the expositions in like Greek mythological films. That it's always some old guy in the beginning just being like, long time ago.
The gods were unhappy.
Oh, the Titans came and as if like we haven't heard this. It's the same old guy.
And it's not a character in the film.
Not a character. Well, I partially believe that there'll always be like this old guy in a corner who'll kind of look up. Or maybe like someone kicks him, it's like, shoo, old man. Yeah. And then it's like, oh, that was probably
He'll
the
make
narrator.
eye contact with the camera and be like,
Yeah, he raises his eyebrow.
And he's like, oh, it'll get them in the end.
Oh, fucking hate that too.
Talking about voiceovers, I know we skipped a couple. Like meta voiceovers.
You hate this.
I hate it so much. When voiceovers talk to the audience, it makes me so mad.
Yeah.
Like, you remember in in Legend. Like, first of all, the voiceover in Legend was just horrific.
Yeah.
It was just very bad dialogue. And then she's like, spoilers, by the way, if you haven't seen Legend.
Well, it's a real life thing.
Yeah.
Can you spoil real life?
Yeah, because not everyone will know what happens to her.
Oh, fair enough.
So spoilers, look away if you want to watch Legend.
Look away.
Look
Don't
away.
keep listening.
Close your ears. And she's like, oh, I bet you thought that because I was narrating, I was not going to die. You were wrong.
She sounds like a witch.
Lol, I did die. Ah.
They do that with Me, Earl, and the
hate
Dying Girl, and I know people love that movie. I fucking didn't, and it's another. I don't know if I wrote this down, but it's using stuff like cancer and AIDS to try and make me feel stuff. I'm sorry, it doesn't always work if I don't like the story. But more importantly, there's a guy. He's narrating the whole story, and in the beginning, he's like, "Don't worry, she doesn't die," and then spoilers. Halfway through the movie, he's like, I lied. I bet she thought that she wasn't going to die, but she is going to die.
Yeah, I thought she wasn't going to die because you fucking told me she wasn't going to die.
Oh my God.
That's not like clever story writing. That's just deception.
It's also called Me, Earl, and the fucking Dying Girl. What do you think I was the... Oh, fuck off. But yeah.
So I hate it. I hate it when they talk to the audience. We're going to go see Deadpool soon, right?
Oh my
today.
God. It's as meta as it gets.
But I feel like that's okay because I know what I'm going in for.
Yeah.
Whereas with Legend, I was like, excuse me? Like, what is this film?
Excuse him, what?
What just happened? Okay.
You're next, although we've skipped a few.
Magicians. I can't justify this one.
No, you can't.
I can justify it less than I can justify my Victorians problem. I'm sorry, I'm just interrupting you, but when I was at the Warner, I had this like thing at Warner Bros. The other day, and this girl, they asked her to say a character that she'd love to be, and she says, I'd love to be Harry Potter because I want to be a magician. And I'm like, hey, no. She's not getting that.
No.
I don't mind wizards.
Yeah.
I don't like magicians.
Yeah.
Because they remind me of steampunk, and I hate steampunk because they usually wear top hats.
Oh my God.
And I hate it.
I think magicians are fun, and I think you're a buzzkill. So.
Yeah, if they don't take themselves seriously, but when they're like, this is my life, I'm going to make everyone unhappy because I have to.
Oh, so you're talking about The Prestige, aren't you? Or
Actually,
The Illusionist, one of them.
I would say The Illusionist. The Prestige, I didn't like that part of it, but it was a really good film, so I kind of...
I thought you would triple hate that film because it's also a period film.
I know, but somehow it worked. Somehow they made it work.
Oh, yeah.
But there was parts where I was like, for fuck's sake. Like, you're taking magic too seriously. Like, no one cares that much about magic shows.
No, but, like, magic was kind of their film and TV, almost.
Yeah, no one dies for film and TV.
I can give you a list of people who've died.
Okay, let's not get into that. Yeah, anyway, your turn.
Okay. Oh, God. Not calling the police or having really stupid police officers, which I don't know a human being who wouldn't hate this in movies, but in cases where I know generally this happens in horror films where someone will be like, oh, my phone's not working. At least that's kind of an explanation to why they didn't call the police. But sometimes I'm sitting there like, fucking call the police.
You can't trust the cops in America.
Oh my God, you can't. But apparently, like, you saw the Babadook. She went to the police officers there. And I'm like, take her fucking claim seriously. She pays her tax. And this is Australia, so I guess it's all just fucking everywhere.
You mean like if they do go to the police officers, they kind of laugh it off, even though it's blatantly obvious that it's really serious.
Yeah, it's almost, he was fucking in the background. The Babadook was like standing behind her. But it's almost kind of not fair to the police officers. They make them sound like all they do is just sit and laugh and eat donuts all day. And that they're super useless half of the time. And I like to believe that's not true.
Yeah.
And that's why I love The Gift. You haven't seen it, but not only does it have a really, really good story, but they call the police and the police answer like legit police officers. So
like, oh, we're going to help you. Let's try.
Yeah, like we're actually going to try and fucking help you.
Yeah, that'd be refreshing. You know what would be more refreshing? It's like if you had police who like did literally everything they could, but still couldn't help them. That's way more scary. Than this sort of like strange, frustrating plot point where they're like, oh, we're not going to help you, and it leaves you feeling unsatisfied.
That's so true. It's so much better when it's like when it's the same with like the parents not helping when the kids are in trouble as well. It's like if the parents actually do try and help, it's more scary that they can't actually do anything.
But it's more scary because you're like, actually, this could happen in real life.
Yeah.
Whereas if the police ignore you and your parents ignore you, you'd be like, that's not realistic.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if this happened in real life, my parents would help me.
Yeah.
But if they are helping in the film, then you're still fucked.
Yeah. It's the same as those circumstances when people are like, oh, if I call the police, they won't believe me, which is actually even more annoying.
Yeah, why don't you try?
Where it's like when people are like, you can't call the police because if you call them, they won't believe you. And then it's like, no, they will. They will call them first. Let's see what happens.
You don't be like, oh, this lady seems shady. Fuck her story.
Fuck her. No, let's just, oh, fuck off. Stop prank calling us. No, it's really annoying. Your turn.
I don't like men with girlfriends in films, generally. No, because it's always really boring. All the scenes where like he goes home and he's got this lovely girlfriend who's like, honey, are you okay? Don't tell me what happened. Ooh, and like strokes out his face, or they're just like sat on the bed and she's like, what's wrong? Talk to me.
Is this with like wives as well?
Yeah, also.
Okay, so you've seen Moria and you love that film.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about his wife in Moria?
I like his wife.
Okay.
Because she had like personality. She wasn't just there to sort of.
I would just be like, are you okay?
Yeah, she was like supporting him.
Right. So it's just people who their only purpose is to just be like, are you alright?
Yeah, just because it's boring. She doesn't need to be there. And it's always like the same scene. Like I've seen this scene like 100 times in different movies.
Yeah.
And it's always this like, you know, usually ridiculously attractive woman who just like sits there and she's like, oh, honey, how was work today? Oh, you look really troubled. And he's like, it's fine, Lisa. It's fine. I'm going to be okay. I don't want to talk about it. It's not even like, my problem isn't even that it's not anything to do with sexism or anything. I'm just like, I'm just bored. I don't want to watch that scene again because I've seen it so many times. I just don't care.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
What's next? Forced romance. I think it kind of links in. No, not really.
No, it doesn't.
Because I kind of just hate it when two characters, just because they're male and female, at some point we have to force that they have a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
When it clearly wasn't necessary. Although even if they were trying to preempt it, they drop in stupid shit that I'm like, you better not go there because I'm getting pissed off. Oh, one that really bothers me is Blade Runner, in my opinion, would be one of my favorite films of all time. But spoiler alert, right at the end, Harrison Ford's character just kind of like pushes this girl down and starts like forcing her to kiss, and she's like no at first, and he's like pushing her more, and eventually she starts kissing it. I'm like, what? Like there was no indication that this was. Someone else can come to me and just say that no, they were giving each other the flirty eyes or whatever. The whole time, to me, it just felt very platonic.
Yeah.
And then it ended. I was like, well, fuck you guys, because
I feel like there was this idea in Hollywood that you have to have romance to draw people in.
yeah.
But this, like, romance doesn't sell, sex sells. So I was like, you know, when it's like, oh, they end up together, it's like, oh, kiss, kiss, kiss. And you're just like, this is boring. Like, it's still boring.
So they should have sex, but they shouldn't get
like
together.
if you want to like draw in that element, make them have like a one night stand and then deal with the tension afterwards, whatever you want. But just like, oh.
No, they do that, and then it's like, oh, they're dealing with the tension, but now they're having feelings for each other. And
Yeah,
they don't
but
know
cut
what
out the feelings bullshit. Keep that for the rom-coms.
But sometimes I'm just like, I don't give it, like, I love Mad Max. I was keeping my fingers crossed the whole time that Mad Max and Furiosa weren't gonna, you know.
I don't think Max.
I don't think that's.
First of all, he's like grieving his dead wife, so it'd be like really inappropriate.
Well, we don't know that actually, because we don't know if he's the same Max Rochatowski as the.
Because you have so many like
Max
because just hanging around the
desert. No. The same leg brace.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't look like Mel Gibson.
He doesn't.
Also, this is a very different. George Miller made it very clear that this is a sequel.
Okay.
So it doesn't make sense that this would be the same Max. And, you know, there's speculation as to whether or not Max has stolen the personality, or maybe he was the son of. You know, we're not going to get into that, but you know. Yeah. I like that there wasn't any forced romance in that.
Yeah, because it's just like when you've got a film like Mad Max, you don't need romance. Like it's irrelevant to the storyline. And I think that you should always films should always be very like neat about what they include. Otherwise it like runs over time. Right?
Yeah.
And like if it's not needed, then don't put it in there.
Yeah.
Because it's just like complicating shit. It's like over generating stuff. So when you've got a film like Mad Max or Blade Runner, like you don't need that stuff.
Yeah.
And nobody would care if it wasn't there. So just like drop it.
In my opinion, if they just cut out that last scene and he just like walked into the distance, I would have just been
that's
so
like
much
way
happier.
like sexier.
It's so much like, and it's a Harrison Ford that we don't need to see him get off with anyone. Like we know he gets tons of girls. So the film's over 2 hours.
Yeah, that ties into what I just said. You know, if it doesn't have to be over 2 hours, if you can tell it in 2 hours, fucking tell it in 2 hours. I'm talking to you, Quentin.
Quentin.
Okay. 3 hours is not acceptable for
3
a film about
hours.
cowboys.
I think
You
it's
can't
3
do
hours,
it.
10 minutes.
3 hours, 10 minutes. It's even
Fuck.
worse. There was so much stuff I could have cut out of Hateful Eight that would not only would have made it less shit, but actually better.
Yeah, I think so as well.
So,
Is
yeah.
there any like movies other than Quentin Tarantino films that really piss you off because it was too long, in your opinion? The Wolf of Wall
Gods
Street.
and
comes to
Kings?
me. Was
So long.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Well, I can't remember if the actual runtime is over 3 hours or if it just felt like that.
Oh. Yeah.
What else?
I'm not gonna lie, and I don't think it's the runtime in general. I just think certain scenes were long. I'd use The Fall as an example because there are certain parts,
Yeah.
especially with the really visually astounding parts, it's just a little bit too much. I was like, I just don't give a shit about any of this.
You said Wolf of Wall Street.
Yes, Wolf of Wall Street, way too long. And the thing that's really annoying is everyone in my family loved that film, and they keep telling me like, oh, what scenes would you cut out? And it's like, it's the same thing as when you write an essay, where it's like, yeah, I know when you read it, you're like, this is all perfect and necessary. But whoever's going to read it won't know what the fuck you cut out. So I think it's difficult now being able to point out the stuff that wasn't needed in The Wolf of Wall Street, but a lot of stuff wasn't needed. And
Or
could
even
have
in
been cut out.
Hateful Eight, spoilers again.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. There's this scene where he sort of like walks out into the snow and there's this great soundtrack and he's sort of tracking down this guy he's going to kill, which is a great scene if you take it in isolation. But it's followed by so much of the same stuff, like almost like so much like just shootings and like executions and stuff like that.
It's like-
That like by the time you get to that scene, it's just like,
Yeah.
I don't care. So if they'd cut out cut out some of the execution scenes before that, that would have made the film so good.
And also just like when you kill people just like they're dead. There's just so many times where he would like shoot people 1,000 times and
They're dying. They're
dying
back to your dying
slowly, man.
tone. Yeah.
But he does it not so they have last words, but so we can see like, oh, they're being tortured because they're great. Like, oh, fuck
for
off.
no reason, because they were all like fine people. But anyway.
Yeah. Family dinner scenes. Actually, this is the first one I thought of. I hate family dinners. This is actually, I think, probably the most annoying out of all of them. I just think back in the day to especially 80s movies, and I think about stuff like Clueless and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Just this idea of people sitting around a table eating what I never know what they're eating. They're
Those
always
are meatloaf bullshit.
always eating some sort of weird bullshit, and they put the smallest amount of food on their fork because we all know the actors don't want to eat the food several times. And then there's just this bullshit conversation between I just don't care. Like, families don't talk like this. People don't eat like this.
Also, I hate the sound of like knives and forks on the plates in
God,
films.
yeah.
Like,
It's like they do it even more intense, just so they know.
or when they're pissed off, like, I hate everyone at this table.
And sometimes they just don't even finish their food. They're just like, can I be excused? I'm like,
And I was
fuck
like,
no.
that looks real good. That mashed potato looks great.
Oh my
Why are you
God.
leaving? Oh, that links into one of my other ones. Not finishing food.
Yeah.
I understand because actors probably have to do the takes over and over.
Yeah.
But when somebody orders food, like a donut or something, or like a hot dog or pizza, and it gets there,
Yeah.
and then they're like, okay, let's go do this next thing, and they just leave the food
Oh,
without even touching it. Sometimes they take a bite and then they
oh
leave
no,
it.
it's the bite that I know. I'm like, now you've had a bite.
I was like, they like take a bite, they put it back, and they leave. I'm like, take the donut with you.
You can what? Look, can you not multitask? I think of like all these, especially detective films. I think of stuff like Zodiac, where it's like all of a sudden they get a call like, "Oh, we got a lead," and they just drop their food, and I'm like, you could
take it with you. Fuck. You're gonna be driving at least 10 minutes. Just eat it in the car.
These are the people who are just ruining the the economy.
Ruining the economy.
Yeah, man. Stop wasting food.
Right, next. Fade to Black.
Can you think of films that fade to black? Oh, you're talking about like midway.
Midway.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Not at the end.
Not at the end.
Not like, oh, sexy scene coming up, fade to black.
Yeah.
Like, the film is
It makes you
an
think,
hour and 40 minutes long and it fades to black and you're like, oh my God, after like something really amazing happens. And then it kind of like the music soars and it comes back and there's more.
More.
The film has not ended. There's another 20 minutes.
Every film
And sometimes,
I watch.
sometimes they do it like 2-3 times.
I'm trying to think of a film they did it to recently. I feel like, and then there'll just be like another scene. They did it to American Sniper, and if, you know, anyone can argue that it was necessary. And they faded, I was like, legit, oh, it's done. And then there's like another scene at the end,
Yeah.
which is like really important. I'm like, make it more obvious, because I was very ready to leave. I hate that. It just almost feels like an end credit scene without the credits.
Yeah.
So I
And
agree
then,
with you.
yeah, it's like it takes the it just makes you go, oh. Like, oh, that was really exciting. Now this is going to be a little bit boring, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's always after, like, a high point in tension.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Right. Fat kid we empathize with. It's not only just fat kid, it's also, like, really weird kids who, like, sniff glue and, like, the awkward kid that we're supposed to just...
Sniff glue.
Yeah.
I hate those
Fucking
glue
hate them.
sniffing kids.
Yeah. No, I used to know kids that would eat glue, yeah. But, like, those kids...
Yeah, like, I'm not going to empathize with a character just because they're pathetic.
Yeah, and also, like, they shouldn't be there. Because, like...
This is getting really mean.
No. I mean, okay, everyone who knows me knows that I really fucking hate Maze Runner. And all you people who like Maze Runner are blind. And I know that's a huge amount of people, and this is completely polarizing. And if you want to stop listening...
But I feel like people who like Maze Runner are people who are really dedicated to the books, and then they refuse to believe that the films are bad.
Yeah, come on, guys, come on. Because, like, the thing that bothers me so much with Maze Runner is you've got this kid who's, like, he's a fat... I'm like, look, you've been there for how long? You guys don't have food. This guy shouldn't be fat. It's so annoying. And he can't do shit. And everyone always has to help him out. And then he, like, spoiler alert, he fucking dies. And just because he's the fat kid who's the awkward the outsider, like, they make him the outsider because he's the fat kid. I'm not just saying he's the outsider because he's fat. And we're supposed to feel really sad and emotional, like he's sacrificing. I'm just like, I don't give a shit. Like, he should have died ages ago. He shouldn't be here. Just, it's really annoying.
Kill him and eat him.
Yes!
Go Lord of the Flies on that bullshit.
Oh, it works. Oh,
I don't like cameos from directors.
oh, hey.
Or heads of companies or people that have contributed to the comic industry.
Sometimes cameos are fun. Like, spoiler alert, Channing Tatum has a great cameo.
You can't say spoiler alert. People don't know what you're going to talk about.
In a film that came out this year.
In Hateful Eight.
Oh, why did you say it? This is why I didn't want to say it, because it's a spoiler. And, spoiler alert, also in The Big Short. This was spoiled for me, but I don't give a shit, because The Big Short was... who fucking cares? There was, like, a few cameos in there as well that were a bit, like...
Who? Oh, like the no, here's this hot girl in the bath gonna explain to you about how the housing market works, except that she didn't, and I was
Here's
like,
this hot girl at a blackjack table to explain something else that's really confusing.
That isn't gonna help me in any way.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Big Short was a flop. Big Short was a big flop.
Cameos, I just don't mind sometimes, but, like, generally fucking just don't.
I think Quentin Tarantino should not do it.
Yeah, no more Quentin Tarantino cameos.
Or voiceovers. Or voiceovers.
I think the voiceover is the more
it's worse. It's like voice of God.
I don't want to hear Quentin Tarantino speak. He should be neither seen nor heard, to be honest.
Also, actually, the only ones I think are okay is Alfred Hitchcock.
Well,
because they're really subtle.
Yes.
Like, you can miss them, right? Whereas with, like, Stan Lee, it's just so obvious.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, smack you in the face. That I was like... But then, like, Marvel movies are not subtle, so I don't know
but
how
I'm
could
sure,
slip
like,
him
Marvel
in.
doesn't want to do it anymore. But it's like, come on. We got
Because the fans are like, oh, where's the cameo? Oh, it's so fun. Oh, I need 4 after-credit scenes.
Wait, do you think fans like...
I think the thing with Marvel movies, they don't have, like, background characters.
Yeah.
It's just, like, the main ones that are in your face and you're paying attention to them.
That's true.
So it's really hard to actually do any cameos, which is why they shouldn't do them.
Next point. One-liners. One-liners are the worst.
Yeah.
And I think my biggest issue is that with Hollywood, and I understand, is they have to try and summarize the way human beings would normally talk into one sentence because they're trying to speed it up. Mm-hmm. But it ends up with, like, basically what they did with The Room, but obviously that's an extreme version, where they would just say something that human beings on a regular basis just don't say. And I'm trying to think of examples. But it's just literally in every film.
Let me direct you to the Deadpool trailer.
Well, no. It's kind of the same. I don't know if I wrote this down, but I think the problem with Deadpool is he uses, instead of just making really intelligent jokes, and the problem with one-liners is they tend to be based on, like, pop culture references or puns.
Yeah.
And just by saying, like, oh, you look like Jimmy Fallon, because Jimmy Fallon is in pop culture, that doesn't make it funny.
Yeah.
because, oh, I know who Jimmy Fallon is. I can laugh.
All right, Jimmy Fallon, calm down.
Yeah, it's like, this doesn't
Can you imagine if people start doing that in real life?
Calm down. Someone call me Jimmy Fallon. I'd actually be fucking pissed.
Yeah, I'd be really mad.
Yeah.
Really mad.
But yeah, just generally, I hate when people talk. Sometimes I think it's okay for people to stutter in the way they speak or not say something that's just ridiculously profound. Like, basically everything Morgan Freeman says. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. It's like everything that comes out of his mouth.
Okay.
What's next?
We did say we weren't allowed to put actual actors as movie gripes.
Yeah, he's not a movie
Otherwise,
gripe.
we'd have a little list so
Yeah.
long.
We just end up with a list of actors we don't like.
I don't like jump cuts. No, I don't like action scenes where you can't tell what the fuck's going on. I
When
hate
there's
it.
like shaky cam.
Not only shape cam, but they're like cutting between like market scenes and things falling over and someone leaping over. And you're like, where is he going? Like, this is such a lazy way of doing action sequences.
Yeah.
Like, so lazy. Like, if you look at something like Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Like in Raiders, they're like great action sequences. And you can follow them. Like, you know what's going on. Like, you know where he's going. You know which direction he's going in.
You know who the camera is actually focusing on.
Whereas there's like some scenes in I don't know.
Fast and Furious is a really bad
Right.
example where it's literally just like, I don't even, you have to like guess, like, I think it's a car and I think Paul Walker and
But then,
Tyrese are in that
like,
car. Maybe someone
don't
might
get-
be shooting.
You don't get any sense of like threat or stress because you don't know who's in danger when.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, this is, I guess, exciting.
I always get to a point where it's like, someone died. I'm just going to guess that it's not the main character because we're halfway through the movie.
Exactly.
Like, it could have been anyone.
Try harder, Hollywood.
Yeah.
Try harder.
I put cowboys. This sounds like something you would write.
Yes, it does actually. Cowboys.
I think I generally don't like because I do like westerns. I didn't want to write down that I didn't like westerns, but I think western films that just have this like, you know, gunslinging cowboy who just kind of walks in and I don't know. What I'm
When you
talking
put this down, I was like, don't explain it to me. Convince me on air. And you're not doing a good job.
Just generally, I know I don't like seeing cowboys generally.
This is like a magician thing. You just hate it.
Yeah.
In your gut, you just don't like it.
In my gut, I just think that I think maybe it's also the cowboy who just seems to have, you know, the tropes that come along with a cowboy who just seems to be really great at everything. And yeah, I don't like cowboys. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
No, I see where you're coming. Like, is it a sort of trope thing?
Yeah, it's the tropes that
It's
come
like
along
2D
with it.
characters,
Yes,
which you don't like.
I mean unless it's an animation.
I'm gonna talk about one more.
Okay.
This is my main. You know this gripe of mine very well.
Yeah.
I don't like seeing known actors
Yeah.
where they're not needed. I don't like.
I agree.
Like, if you can find an actor that can do the job better,
Yeah.
that no one's ever heard of. And obviously, I understand that this is not sustainable
Yeah.
in Hollywood because, you know, you need big names to draw people in. But I hate it. It's like this new Han Solo thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to see fucking Ansel Engelbert, or whatever his name is, do Han Solo.
Ansel Engelbert.
You know? Just find me someone that I can believe is a young Han Solo.
Yeah.
I don't
like
wanna
Dave Francoggino.
No, I don't want to, like, I can't see past that.
Yeah.
And I know why they're doing it, but they're not even bringing in good names. These are like B-listers that no one really gives a shit
It's
about.
really annoying when you just hear like, oh, they might be doing a new Indiana Jones, and who have they got? Chris Pratt. And they might be doing another thing. Who have they got? Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah,
It's like,
you're just like, where's the new talent? Where's the films I can sort of immerse myself in without being like, oh, this big name. Oh, that's cool.
you have one more on your list that I actually really wanted you to talk about.
Which one?
Which is the no salutations when calls. When people call and they don't say like hello.
How fucking hard is it to be like, all right, bye.
just bye. They just cut off the phone.
Just like, I'll see you there.
hang up.
Hang up.
Get it done. Hang
Like,
up.
if someone did that to me in real life, I would call them back, and I was like, what the fuck, man?
Did you just cut up?
You
Did
just
we
hung
get
up
cut
on
off?
me.
Like, what happened?
It's so rude.
Oh, fuck you. No soap when showering, or no rinsing of teeth when brushing. Look, guys, when people brush their teeth in films, why do they just spit and they don't rinse? I've noticed recently that there's been some rinsing.
Like, if you swallow a toothpaste, it's not good for you.
It's not good. Don't do it.
Please rinse.
Don't follow the movies. Rinse. And
Also, don't just like stand under the shower touching your hair with no sort of lather.
like the worst one is if you've seen the new Carrie, she like Chloe Grace Moretz is covered in blood and she goes sits in a bathtub filled with water and starts rinsing herself. I'm
It's
like,
disgusting.
what?
Yeah, when they're covered in blood, they always just kind of stand under the shower. And I'm like,
And we watched
use
the
soap.
blood rinse. I'm like, guys,
You can't. Sure, you can rinse it off, but that's not gonna get you clean. Like,
get the
here's
fucking
the soap.
scrubbing brush. And like,
Yeah.
horror film demons who just fuck with people. That should be the name of a movie.
Yeah.
The fact that there's always some haunted thing that just wants to like open doors and slam them and then fuck off for like 2 days and then open another door and slam them and possess
it's
your
just
kid.
the demon walking through your house rather than fucking with you.
But then why is it always like at the end of the movie? That's when the demon's like, all right then. It decides to come out.
Because
And
the guys are like, let's get an exorcist. And the demon's like, I'm just walking through your house.
Man, I'm just trying to get to the backyard.
He's like, oh, you think I'm a bad guy? Well, I'm going to show you what bad guys like. And that's when they
Oh,
start
come
possessing
on.
them and making them throw up like hair.
Oh my god, throw up there. And this kind of links in convenient law books, which is this is the worst. The last one. Oh, you know, there's this demon and it's haunting my house, and I can just conveniently go to some weird crazy guy on Oxford Street who just happens to have all the books.
He's like, what do you want, child?
There's a demon in my house. I've got this book and it has all the rules that you need to follow.
Yeah,
These demons will come and eat you in 3 days. You need to do this, this, and this. You need to bath in this water and then pay me $1,000. And
Like, I'm super into, like, lore. Okay?
Yeah.
I love sort of monsters and demons and all that kind of shit.
yeah.
And I've been to libraries. and I've been to extensive libraries, like old libraries.
Yeah.
And the books are just, the lore books are not there. Like, I was like, I need a book on demons. And they have, like, 2, and they're just shit.
They're like non-fiction, like small paperback.
Yeah, and you're just like, no.
They're not
Why are
these
they not
huge-
leather bound? Where's the dust and the smell and the ink? No,
Who's
it's not
drawing these weird drawings and like scratching into the paper like
Yeah.
blood marks and
like
shit?
I'm sure these things exist maybe somewhere locked up in the British Library, like done by monks in the 13th century.
Yeah.
But your local fucking librarian is not going to be like, oh, I have the perfect thing for you.
And they're always so it's like, oh, they go to librarian. Do you have anything on like demons? Demons, you say? Come to the back, child. I'm like, don't follow her.
Don't do it.
Don't.
do it.
This is why you got in this problem. You're touching old law books that could be possessed. Fuck. It's just, yeah, guys, look.
You need to calm down. You're getting a little bit
Clearly,
hyped.
we have a lot of problems with movies.
Yeah.
This is just a,
This has
taster.
been a bitching special.
Yes, it has. Maybe we should do one where it's like things we love about films.
Oh, that's no fun.
Yeah, it's no fun, guys. That's not why you listen to us.
No.
No.
Okay, guys, that's all today from Tom's Movie Cruise, and we'll see you next week.
Yay!
You're such a fucking noodle.